This is essentially the Roman Republic in the 50s. BC, that is. In 49 BC, Rome was getting ready for civil war again. This man, Julius Caesar, crossed the Rubicon River into Italy with his army. He was ready to face off against his former friend and political partner, Pompey, in the Senate. Though Pompey started a failure of a military campaign and got beaten by Caesar, he flocked to Egypt expecting goodwill from the pharaoh, Ptolemy VII. Instead, he was assassinated per the pharaoh's orders. The pharaoh had hoped to earn favor from Caesar from this. Instead, this led to Caesar going after his sister, Cleopatra, romantically, and eventually the pharaoh's death. Back in Rome, Caesar was quite merciful on opponents. This made him seem quite heroic to the citizens. The Senate declared Caesar an absolute ruler for 10 years. However, Caesar had different plans and overextended this time to life in 44 BC. At this point, he essentially put himself on the short path to death. In the same year, on the Ides of March, Caesar was stabbed 23 times to death by 40 or so senators in the floor of the government building. Another civil war happened. This involved General Mark Antony, Caesar's trusted friend, his lover, Cleopatra, and Caesar's nephew and heir, Octavian. This ends soon enough upon Antony falsely hearing Cleopatra is dead. Antony's reaction was to stab and ultimately end up killing himself. Cleopatra is still alive and well. Well, she was only well until she learned Antony was dead. Octavian lets Cleopatra bury Antony in Egypt, and Cleopatra then kills herself, it being unknown how. Now Octavian has won officially, and Rome gains control of Egypt, this most notably including their grain harvest. Octavian renamed himself Augustus and declared himself emperor, son of the god Caesar, in 27 BC. Also, the Senate wasn't that important anymore, if you couldn't tell. Peace reigned during Augustus' 41-year rule. However, things like prosperity, stability, and culture bloomed. He had made things such as a road network and courier, or essentially mail, system. He had also established a standing army, which was always present for battles, and the Praetorian Guard, which guarded him, the emperor, and never went into battle unless it was under his command. He also established police and firefighters across Rome, and he worked on a large rebuilding project for the city of Rome. The empire had enlarged dramatically, stretching into Central Europe, and the conquest of Spain was completed. Though they had lost 3 entire regions in Germania in 9 AD. In result, Rome got no more regions in Germania. In 14 AD, Augustus had died. His stepson, Tiberius, then succeeded him. Tiberius was good at being emperor, but very disinterested after the death of his nephew Germanicus in 19 AD and his son Drusus in 23 AD, leaving power in the hands of the ambitious Sejanus in 26 AD. Sejanus killed his heirs, and Tiberius had him executed for treason, and went on a paranoid killing spree, believing everyone was his enemy. Tiberius later died of unknown causes, possibly natural or even at the hands of his successor, Caligula, in 37 AD. Caligula had become emperor and was popular at first. Soon enough, though, he showed his true colors. In his rule of 4 years, he declared himself a living god, executed many people, including his family, loved his sisters a little too much, and finally, by legend, planned to make his horse, Incitatus, a consul. He also pampered that horse a lot. If you couldn't guess, the public did not like him. Neither did the private, as the Praetorian Guard were the source of his demise. Claudius, a scholar who had happened to be Caligula's uncle, was put in the place of emperor. Claudius had a large lack of experience, but was pretty good at being emperor. Claudius notably ordered building of many roads, aqueducts, and canals across the empire. During his already successful 13-year reign, the also successful conquest of Britain began. In 54 AD, he died. This was probably natural, but might have possibly been at the hands of his fourth wife, Julia Agrippina, also called Agrippina the Younger. This had made way for her son, Nero, who fiddled why Rome burned. Nero was a high bidder that overspent. He also blamed the Great Fire of 64 AD on Christians. The public did not like him, and like Caligula, neither did the private. Though, unlike Caligula, the Praetorian Guard didn't kill him, but instead mutinied. So did the army. The Senate had then declared Nero as an enemy of Rome. Nero killed himself as a result. However, he had no heir. In turn, 4 men fought for the throne. The fourth, Vespasian, former governor of Judea, triumphed in 69 AD, starting off the Flavian dynasty. Vespasian worked hard in his 10-year reign, doing things such as restoring the empire's finances and erecting many important buildings, which included the Colosseum. His son, Titus, had made a name for himself by putting down the Jewish resistance in that province. Titus only governed for 2 years before being succeeded by his brother, Domitian, in 81 AD. Rome prospered under his 15-year rule, but in the end he got on the wrong side of court officials, and they had him murdered. This concludes my presentation of the downfall of the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire up to the end of the Flavian dynasty. Thank you for watching.